Hello everybody, my name is Dusk and welcome to another episode of Shock's video guide. In this guide, we're going to show you how to get every single achievement in the recently released StarCraft Masters achievement custom game. And so you guys can find that custom game at the top of the custom game list. In this screen, we have a convenient link to go to every single one of our videos if you want to skip through just to see whichever ones you guys are missing. Alright guys, round 1, Marine double team. It's fairly easy. What you want to do is have one Marine attack the Zealot while the other one lets it be chased by the Zealot. And so you just see me running around the Marine and you just wait till the Zealot dies and you're done. Basically, the bigger the radius, the circle you make with your running around Marine, the harder it is for the Zealot to attack it. The smaller the radius, obviously the Zealot can close in the distances a lot faster, just like that. Alright guys, round 2, Zealots versus Stalkers. Stalkers run a little bit faster than Zealots, and so there's really no reason you should ever lose this. You just keep running back, run it back sufficient distance where the Zealots aren't going to be able to get a hit in when you get a hit in, and then you really shouldn't lose past your shield health. Make sure to focus fire one of the Zealots at a time so that the Zealots aren't able to regenerate shields if you damage all of them equally, and then you just keep moving back and attacking, keep moving back and attacking, and it's kind of boring, but it's a pretty straightforward process. Now we're on our last Zealot. Just keep moving back. On the last Zealot, I really shouldn't have been cutting at this point. This only delayed it, but you can just split your Stalkers and it'll just make it extremely hard for the Zealot to get any hits in. Alright guys, round 3 is Zealot Choke. You basically get 6 Zealots against a large amount of Zerglings, and what you want to do is just make sure that your Zealots form a line that's perpendicular to the edges of that bridge you're going to go on in the back. So there you go. You form that line. You want 4 Zealots to be attacking at once. I kind of made a little bit of a mistake with that one Zealot not being able to attack. In the end, it really didn't matter too much. Micro back your weak Zealots if you want to. It's just more important to form than keep up that line so the Zerglings can't really get that much surface area on you. And end up losing one Zealot, which isn't a big deal. Round 4, Focus Fire. Alright, so this is where you get a few Hydralisks, you attack the Zealots. I found it really difficult to attack the Zealots. I just Focus Fired one of the few Zealots and moved the weaker Hydralisks out of the way. And as you can see, I didn't do a very good job, and that's why this game was a little bit closer than I expected to. And so hopefully you guys can do better. All you just do is, you can Focus Fire the Zealots if you want to. I find that Hydralisks do a lot of DPS anyway, and you don't really need to Focus Fire. Just move back the weak ones, and the Zealots will chase around or whatever. And you'll just win that pretty easily. Round 5, Retarget. This is where you get 2 Stalkers and you attack the Spinecrawler. And all you do is just, when the Spinecrawler is about to die, when it's one hit away from dying, just move it back and then move it immediately back in after it targets the other Stalker, and you've won. So move it back, go target. I moved it a little bit further back than I needed to, and so that's why I'm going to lose the second Stalker. But it's really hard to lose that one. Round 6, Burrow Ambush. This difficulty is medium, and that's because it really depends on how well you re-burrow. But the process is pretty straightforward. So where you see the Marines are right now, they're not moving, and that's basically where you want to burrow your Zerglings. And when you unburrow your Zerglings, you want to make it so you have Zerglings both on top and below the Marines, so you basically get a full surround, and that just gives you maximum surface area. As you can see, my unburrowing really wasn't the best, but it really doesn't matter. After your Zerglings unburrow, you guys can micro it. I find that microing Speedlings is a waste of time just because they're really hard to click, and you get so many of them that microing a few really doesn't do anything. Alright, round 7, Colossus Smash. And so this one requires basically you're going to attack the Zerglings as they try to get to the top side, and then once they get to the top side, you move to the bottom side. I kind of messed it up where I have a few on the top and the bottom at the same time, and this isn't necessarily good because then you're always going to be attacked. If you wait for all the Zerglings to get on the top and then you move to the bottom, they all have to move from the bottom, and you're able to attack the Zerglings, you know, in that spare time. But it kind of worked out for me. And so basically, you're just going to be abusing that cliff, running up and down wherever the Zerglings are not, or wherever the Zerglings are the fewest. And then when the Zerglings are going the opposite direction, obviously, just go back on, and you should be able to slowly whittle down the Zergling count. I was kind of distracted. There was someone else in my room, so my screen was like shaking all over the place. And but I did manage to get this one. Alright, round 8, Safe Zone. Difficulty is still easy. You get 2 Stalkers, and basically what you want to do is blink one Stalker next to the Siege Tank and blink the other Stalker next to the other Siege Tank, and you've won. And so we're just going to see just right click the middle of the two sieges in the beginning. Once you get around 6 range, you should be able to blink and just blink the 2 up to the next siege tanks very quickly, and you should have won that. Yep. Alright, round 9, Whack-a-Roach. This one's fairly easy as well. You got 3 roaches, you're going to attack a bunker with 4 marines in it, and if you just attack behind the bunker, the roach at the top should be able to focus down first. Is burrowed at about 20 health. And then the roach at the bottom, obviously, burrow that at 20 health. And the third roach, burrow that at 20 health. And you'll be fine. Alright, all 3 burrow. Now at this point, you want to wait till that first burrow, that first burrowed roach, you want to wait till that gets max health, and then unburrow that first, and then immediately unburrow the other 2 right afterwards. This will make sure the bunker is focus firing that first roach while the other roach is going to do damage. Just make sure to burrow that again, and then that bunker should die right about now, and you just, the marines are easy pickings for roaches once you get enough health. Unburrow that first roach, make sure it's taking the damage, and the other 2 roaches, just make sure they're doing damage, and you should win that fairly easily. Alright. Round 10, ramp control. And so in this one, you basically want to, you see how the roaches are in packs of 3, you want to force field off 1 pack so that you can just kill the other pack. I made a little bit of a mistake allowing 4 roaches to get in, but it's really not that big of a deal. Just keep in mind that once your sentry uses a force field, you can actually just have that sentry die. The DPS it provides really isn't significant. Micro the weak zealots back. And once you do that, you should just be able to go up to the roaches and just go ahead and kill them with your sentries and zealot, or sentry and zealot. Alright, round 11, Stim and Storm and Run. And so this is basically, you want to storm the pack of marines. Make sure that when you storm, that hexagon storm symbol is in front of the marines so that every single marine takes the maximum amount of damage possible. It might take a few tries for you. It really doesn't matter that much. Just redo it again. Make sure the hexagon again is in front of the pack of marines and not on, so the marines walk into it. Alright, round 12, Friendly Fire. Make sure to cast your first Infested Terran in that little corner. 1 marine should die, and then cast it in that dead marine's place, and then a few more marines should die. And so you really shouldn't use more than 3 Infested Terran on the pack. If you did, make sure to restart and do the exact same thing for that side. Cast in that corner, a few marines should die. Cast in the next corner, a few marines should die. And so you use 6 Infested Terrans to kill those 5 marines, and then at this point you have 2 Infested Terrans left, so just cast 1 at the tank and 1 at the other tank, and the splash damage should just be able to kill it. And at this point you can actually go and sacrifice your Infestor, just making sure your Infested Terran is alive to kill the tank. Alright, round 13, hold position. This is basically because your probes are workers and there's a cannon, the Zergling isn't going to auto-aggro on the probes, and so you just want to select all your probes in the beginning, right-click the photon cannon, then press hold position, and if you have time, just move your excess probes into the holes, and you should be able to get this. If it doesn't work the first try, just do it a few more times. It's not something that really takes a lot of skill. You just hold position and you get it. And all the lings die. Extremely cost-effective Protoss units. Alright guys, round 14, force field surround. You have a small Protoss army against a lot of lings. Key is to hold position your army in the beginning, so just hold down H, and then when the game starts, all your units should be hold position. This is so that your zealots don't spread out. As you can see, I'm not a very good Protoss player, but what you want to do is hold down F, wait about half a second, and then after that, you just spam click force fields around you. I think you have around 6 or 7 force fields, and they'll just try to evenly distribute them out, and just give the Zerglings as few force field or surface area as possible. And if that doesn't work, just do it again. It basically helps you practice force field. I can't really give you that much tips on it. Alright, around 15, force field smash. This is a medium difficulty. Take your first 2 high Templars, go feed back 2 sentries in the back, that'll instantly kill them, and then hold down C, that'll turn them into Archons. So now what you want to do with your Zealots is basically push around that Archon ball. I'm not doing a very good job. Push around that Archon ball, and then try to break the force fields with that, and that's going to allow you to get your Zealots up sooner before the sentry basically runs out of energy, and then you obviously use that Archon to break down any force fields just to give your army a little bit more surface area. Use your Archon to focus down any weak units, and you should clean it up fairly easily. Alright guys, round 16, Fungal Death. Difficulty medium. Now what I like to do is first of all I'm gonna hold down F and cast one fungal, then make 2 infested terrans from each, and then cast another fungal, wait 4 seconds, cast another fungal, wait 4 seconds, cast another fungal. And the reason I make 2 infested terrans right after the first fungal is because at the end you're going to be left with 2 infestors, each with around 50 energy, and so you're not going to be able to spend that energy immediately. Alright, round 16 or round 17, SCV to go. What you want to do is spam click on one of the minerals. It really doesn't matter what, but you spam click on the minerals, and the SCV walks through all the probes, and then all you do is circle around the nexus and exit. Stim micro. Go ahead and just attack the Zealot. Stim and move back and attack the Zealot. It's pretty straightforward. When your Marine runs out of Stim, make sure you Stim it again before attacking, just so it doesn't take any hits. If your Marine takes 1 hit from the Zealot, you will lose this, and you're going to have to restart, but it's really not that big of a deal because it's fairly straightforward. Just move back and attack, move back and attack, give yourself adequate space so that you don't run the risk of getting hit, and Zealot should die after about 30 seconds or so. Zealots are pretty good against Marines, or tank-wise. Alright guys, round 19, Prismatic Beam. This is actually really easy for round 19. All you do is charge up on the pylon that's supplied for you. So just wait till you see all 3 of those little, I don't know what they call it, the tendrils from the Void Ray. Make sure all 3 of them are charged up, and then the beam gets a little bit thicker, and just right click the turret and you win. Alright guys, Blink Train, this is fairly easy. You start with all your Stalkers selected, so what you want to do is click at the bottom of the ramp you're going to blink up against, hold down Shift, press B, click up above the ramp, keep with the Shift key held down, click in the circle of power multiple times, and then all your Stalkers should go through and you should get a pretty good win. So many Banelings, this is actually fairly difficult. What you want to do is spread out all your Zealots, but the Banelings aren't actually aggroed onto your Zealots. So what I like to do is I like to send my first Zealot in there, put the 2 Zealots on the side, and then you want to split the rest of your Zealots. And this will only work if you actually make sure all your Zealots are split, and so it comes very close if you don't do that. Alright, round 22, Bane versus Bane. I am not good at ZVZ, but what I like to do is spread all my Lings and then send my Banes in 2 at a time, and then that should at least take out the majority of it. As you can see, my Ling micro isn't very good, but I ran my Bane into a large clump of Lings, and at that point I was able. Alright, round 23, Cloaked Banshees. This one's fairly simple. Your Ghost has 2 EMPs. Make sure to EMP underneath the Banshees. Obviously, EMPs reveal cloaked units. After that, select everything. Press tab so you have your Marines selected. Stim your Marines, and focus fire down the Banshees. And should be a pretty easy win. Round 24, Blink of an Eye. This is actually fairly simple. All you do is just when the Stalker loses all its shields, just blink it back. You basically don't even have to micro. So it's pretty straightforward. Blink back the weak Stalkers and then just keep blinking back, and the roaches will die after a while. You can focus fire if you want. I didn't because I was kind of lazy. Alright, this is actually fairly difficult, Micro Insanity. What you want to do is, first of all, feedback both of the point defense drones, and then what you want to do is go in with your Phoenixes, lift up the Marauders so that you can put your Blink Stalkers on top of the siege tanks, and then after you kill the tanks with your Blink Stalkers, you want to focus fire down the Vikings. Make sure that your Archon was formed right after the High Templar used their feedbacks, and then after you focus down the Vikings, your Archon should be able to take out everything else. So that'll probably take you guys a few tries. It took me about half an hour to do it, actually, half an hour worth of tries, and so you just have to do it in that order. That's the order that I found that works the best. Round 26, Scorched Earth. So there's a Dark Templar that's invisible. Use your Siege Tank just to attack the worker that the Dark Templar is about to hit. Because the Dark Templar kills a worker in 1 hit, you have to basically predict where the Dark Templar is going, and then when the Dark Templar gets close enough, obviously attack that worker. Make sure that the Dark Templar doesn't get too close, because it does one-shot the worker, and so you just have to judge when it gets close enough. insane shot is, or this is a moving shot, and I listed it as insane because I thought it was fairly difficult. As a Terran player, killing all those Marines, it seems easy if you have unlimited space, but because you have to keep moving and there's no edge on this map, like you can't just kite at the edge like in a normal game. It took me a little bit. I know you guys might have better chance, but what you basically want to do is make sure that when you're getting in attacks on the Marines, make absolute sure that your Banshee is moving in the direction away from Marines, and you don't see me ever attacking when my Banshee is below the Marines, because you can't really judge how far it is from the Marines when it's below, just because you're trying to watch a 3D thing in 2D. And so I always do it when my Banshee is horizontal to the Marines, and that helps me judge if I'm far away or not. The Banshees move slightly faster than the Marines, so if you want to close in distance without losing acceleration on your Banshee, just turn a little bit more. And then use hold position or attack move in order to get your hits in on the Marines. So right after the Banshee launches those missiles, make sure to just click in the opposite direction so you don't lose your acceleration. Alright, Deadeye Ghost. This I thought it was kind of hard. Make sure to move all your stuff in the back, and you wanna select your ghost. You wanna hold down R for half a second, and all you wanna do is click the snipe the Banelings. You don't have to click the Zerglings at all. It doesn't matter. Your army will be able to kill it. But just hold down R and just click all the Banelings. I thought it was actually this was pretty interesting, and it was kind of fun actually because it was kind of unique compared to the other ones. And you should just be able to kill everything if you sniped all the Banelings. I let one Baneling hit, but it worked out anyway. Alright, let's dance. This was one of the hardest ones for me. Basically, I didn't know how to do this without bunching up all my Marines. I know you could probably do it by microing, have one Marine attacking, but have your two others run in circle, but that just seemed insanely difficult. So what I did was basically bunch up all my Marines, move them towards the bottom, and so as you can see my Marines are bunched up, and then I focus down one of the Zealots, and then after you focus down one of the Zealots, it turns into that first level. Basically you have two Marines, and so it's really important to have two Marines when you fight the final Zealot, as it's almost impossible to kill that Zealot unless it has weak, low health with one Marine. And so as you can see, I'm actually moving around in a circle, and this actually fucks up the Zealot AI quite a bit, just because the Zealot is targeted on one Marine, but if another Marine's closer to it, it's not going to attack it, and so that's why you see I'm moving like somewhat closer to a Zealot and it's not attacking me. And then at this point, just be patient. Don't get too eager, because I've gotten to the point where I had like one Zealot with two Marines left, and they both had full health, and I didn't split them properly, and then I lost and had to redo everything. And so at this point, I was fairly confident I was gonna win. Just make sure to run in big arcs so that the Zealot has as little opportunity to hit a Marine as possible. And you should be able to pull it out. This will take a while if you're not really too good with Marine Micro. I know I'm not that great with Marine Micro, and so just take a few tries, you know, to get comfortable with it. Alright guys, level 30, Untouchable. This is the last level, and I considered this the hardest. It took me about 45 minutes just to get this. And what you want to do is, right at the beginning, you want to hold position your medevac so that it doesn't move when it gets hit. And then that first volley of the 3 shots from the Stalker, you want to make sure you dodge that. If you don't dodge that, just go ahead and restart. Make sure you dodge that, and then the pattern that you want to mimic is where you basically pick up the tank right before the Stalker's shots hit it, and then you want to drop it immediately. My method for dropping is basically after it picks it up, you press D and you click the medevac and it drops, and my method for pickup is you right click the tank onto the medevac. And so yeah, that will take you guys probably a few tries. Just make sure to hold position your medevac so it doesn't go flying back when it gets hit, and then time it so you're picking it up right before a volley comes and hits your tank, and then drop it immediately after that. Just press D and click the medevac. Can't really explain too much beyond that. Just watch the replay if you guys have any questions about how exactly I did it. But if you're done, you get this cool looking icon. It kind of looks like 2 Banelings or something. And so if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave it in the section below. If you guys enjoyed this guide, feel free to like and favorite it. Otherwise, if you want to see more guides like this, come visit us at shocksguide.com. We have a lot of guides basically focused on 1v1 play. All of our videos are based off of gameplay from Shocks, who is a Grandmaster 1v1 player. I believe at the time he is ranked 24 in the Grandmaster League. And so if you guys, like I said before, if you guys have any questions or comments about this video or any other video or anything pertaining to Shocks Guide, feel free to leave it in the section below. You can also find us on Facebook at StarCraft 2 Guide. But otherwise, I will see you guys later.